Hey everyone, 2024 has come to a close. It's been quite a good year, and I hope things have been good for you as well. As we enter into 2025, it's time to reflect back on the games we've played and see what was the best, the worst, and everything else in between. We're going to be looking at the worst game, the weirdest game, the game with the best story and music, and the overall best game. Unfortunately, there were significantly fewer votes on the viewer poll this year. I'm not sure why, since prior years got such much greater turnout, but there were not enough votes this year to actually make any determination as to what your favorites were. The absolute worst game this year was Home Improvement Power Tool Pursuit. I cannot believe that they made a game for this 90s sitcom. The game is so repetitious and boring and causes massive brain rot. Basically, Tim Taylor's power tools that Binfold named after him have been stolen, so he must go on various movie sets to get them back. He kills dinosaurs, mummies, vampires, and aliens. I definitely remember that from the show. He uses power tools to defeat them. There are 4 worlds in the game, and each world has 4 levels plus a boss level. It's a scavenger hunt looking for the crates that have the Binfold parts. The game is all the same basically, and would have been so much better if each world had only 2 stages and was a side-scroller instead of a maze. In the end, it was his kids who stole the parts and made me suffer through hours of pure torture. I did play with a mod that helped extend the timer and change the controls. Without that, I'm sure my frustration would have been even greater. There isn't much to say about the weirdest game, but maybe the gameplay will speak for itself. It's Get to School on Time, spelled S-C-H-O-L. What even is this game? This game is very weird, as is the music, the graphics, and everything else about it. Without a doubt, it's probably one of the weirdest games I've ever seen. The storyline of the games we played this year have varied, and it was hard to choose the best one, primarily because I didn't feel there was a super strong story in most of the games. We didn't play any in-depth games with an intense story, so this was a hard choice. However, the award goes to Inside for providing a thought-provoking story that made me really think and try to interpret an answer. You basically just begin the game and discover the story as you go. The boy you play as enters a farm area where there are dead pigs and what appears to be parasites in them that have either killed them or are controlling them. Then there are people who look like slaves, mindlessly following orders. He can even control them using a device. He eventually makes it to a primary research facility where people are, and they do nothing to stop him, almost as if they're guiding him there. And he ends up witnessing a horrific sight, which is this creature in this tank, which appears to be some sort of amalgamation of a bunch of various human body parts. And he becomes part of that creature, fusing with it essentially, and then escaping the facility, and ending up on a little beach area with a mountain, trees, which was a depiction that was shown in the actual game. A replica was made of this, so perhaps the creature was controlling us, the player, and we were controlling the boy to get the creature to free it, but the people who were also controlling it allowed it to happen. The best music goes to Michael Jackson's Moonwalker for the Sega Genesis. This game has fantastic Michael Jackson tracks in an 8-bit style. My favorite game played this year was Yu Yu Hakusho Tournament Tactics. It really brought back memories of when I played it when I was younger, pulling an all-nighter, playing it from start to finish over one night. And I wanted to do the same thing again because it was just so good. It's basically a tactic-style strategy game. You move your characters on the board to destroy your opponent. It's similar to the Fire Emblem series or Advance Wars if you played any of those, or even Final Fantasy Tactics. However, this one is much more slimmed down and doesn't offer as much as the other titles. Still, I love the game and look forward to playing the other tactic-style games I mentioned at some point. Here is the full list of games ordered from my favorite to least favorite. Lastly, I wanted to give a shout out to various Let's Plays I've watched this year that I really enjoyed. I'll put links to these playlists of the games in the description if you would like to check them out. I really enjoyed the playthrough of Silent Hill Shattered Memories by Super Great Friend. This is a very different Silent Hill game compared to the prior ones, but it does retell the story of the original game. I had this game on the PSP back in the day, and it was fun seeing it again. Normally I'm not a fan of newer games, but I enjoyed the playthrough of Indica, also by Super Great Friend. This game is very strange, and the trailer for it caught my attention long before I saw Super Great Friend doing a playthrough of it. So I was very excited when I saw him do an actual playthrough so I could actually see what the game was about. It's basically a mix of various game styles, but overall it is primarily a puzzle game. And another new game I enjoyed was Slitterhead, also by Super Great Friend. This was a very fascinating game right from the very beginning, and the basic premise is about monsters called Splitterheads, who are disguised as humans and are killing them. You play as a spirit trying to stop them that can possess other living things. Most of the people it possesses are normal, ordinary people who lose consciousness when possessed. However, there are a few people, very rare few people, that are fully conscious and get special powers when they are possessed by this spirit. You can play as various characters and get new abilities, and it's mostly an action and adventure game. For the classic games, I like the replay of Donkey Kong 94 by Slim Kirby. I watched the original playthrough he did back in 2009 and didn't remember any of it since it was so long ago, but he replayed it in 2024 and it was actually a really good, fun puzzle game. It starts off like the original Donkey Kong game does, where you play as Mario and have to save the princess from that banana-loving freak of nature who always ends up making his bananas brown and everything. Who knows how he does that? Who knows? But after you beat a few stages, the gameplay changes. Your main objective is to get a key and leave the area in a set amount of time, all while avoiding enemies and traps, but you can also get optional items to get extra lives. And I also liked Oh No, More Lemmings, also by Slim Kirby. This is another puzzle game where you get lemmings to the end of the stage and have to save a certain number within a time limit. Some of the solutions can be quite complex and require exact timing. And I liked his other prior playthroughs of the Lemming series, so this was another solid one. And lastly, a big shout out to Slim Kirby for doing a console challenge. He has decided to play every single Game Boy Advance game released in North America. And that's almost 1,000 titles, and at this present moment, he's only a few games in. He's a very small percentage of the way there, so it's going to be multiple years to actually accomplish this major big project that he has. But he is posting recaps of his full playthroughs on his main channel. I'm really excited to see him play games I really loved on the Game Boy Advance. While I have absolutely no intentions of doing a console challenge, if I had to choose a system, it would probably be the PlayStation 1. While I loved the Sega Genesis back in the day, I feel that many games on the system are just far too difficult and obscure. My favorite console, though, was the PlayStation 2, but the games would be extremely long. So the PS1 would be kind of a happy medium, but of course it has some of its own problems here and there and everything. What games are coming up next? I plan on playing Crash Team Racing for the PlayStation 1 with the new 60 frames per second widescreen mod, as well as Frogger 2 Swampy's Revenge for the Dreamcast to continue the amazing Frogger series that we started a few years back on the PlayStation 1, and Sonic Shuffle, also for the Dreamcast, which is a Mario Party ripoff where the AI cheats like crazy. Thank you all for following my channel and reflecting back on 2024. This has been such an amazing year of playing so many variety of different games, and we actually hit the major milestone of 1,000 subscribers, so I greatly appreciate that, so thank you all so very much. So I plan on continuing making games for the foreseeable future. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you have enjoyed them as well. And if you're not subscribed yet, be sure to smash that like button and like and subscribe and favorite and all that stuff all these YouTube people and other people say no. So Anyway, you all have a fantastic year. Happy New Year to all of you, and I'll see you very soon.